Tuesday, Wednesday. What day is it?
Welcome to The Daily Grind, a Bluff City Media daily podcast. Stepping up to the microphone is your host, Luke Hatmaker. Grab your favorite morning brew, and let's get to the show.
And I ran, and I forgot the words. Something about running. Welcome to The Daily Grind. I don't know. That was Flock of Seagulls, which I guess this is kind of a Flock of Seagulls haircut. I don't know. Welcome to The Daily Grind. I am your host, Luke Hatmaker, and it's Thursday. We discussed that right before we came on. We both know the day of the week. Don't anyone tell you otherwise. I got Daniel Greer with me again. How are you, brother?
I'm good. I see King Meeks already in the chat with a little pun, a little funny way of saying something. So I love it. Every time I see like a dad joke, yeah, that's my jam.
Man, dad jokes are great because they don't require me to think that much, and I need that. You know, I'm like, oh, cool, I get this. It's in the name.
Right.
Shout out Jared and Jalen too. We got a full house this morning in the comments. I appreciate y'all. We're just gonna jump right into it, man. Continue our fantasy football discussion because I got added to another league yesterday. So now I'm in 3 after, and I need to make sure I get all my ducks in a row. All my drafts are gonna be on the same night. I don't know why I'm doing that. But it'll be great. So we're going to jump right back in. We discussed the wide receivers yesterday. You helped me out a little bit with my draft strategy. Running backs, though, are a different beast here. I want to talk about running backs now because look at that smiling face of Bijan. Look at that. We are going to continue our fantasy time this week, and we're going to talk about the best running backs in fantasy football. You gave me this. I am very, very intrigued by this graphic, by your rankings. So you've got Bijan number 1. You think you feel pretty strongly? Is that if you had to draft a running back overall, that's how first before Jamar Chase, is this who you would take?
Yeah, I don't think there's anybody else that running back wise you would pick. Depending on your league, it's depending on whether or not you go running back heavy or if you go wide receiver heavy. If you're at least a half point or a full point PPR, you're going to go with, it's not even, Bijan Robinson anymore. It's Bijan Robinson. He said that in the offseason. I had no idea that we were saying his name wrong. I don't know if he changed it, but it's Bijan Robinson for whatever reason. But if you are in a keeper league, like 100%, 100 times out of 100, you're going to either go with Jamar Chase or Bijan Robinson. Like that is just the numero uno guy. But at this point, Bijan Robinson is that dude. He doesn't have the best offensive line, but he does have potential, and he has young legs, and that's really what you target there with him. And then another guy who is going to be blinking like a flashing red light is Devon Achane. And I get it, Miami's going to suck.
Yeah, okay? They are.
They're my brother's favorite team, and I love that they are going to absolutely suck. But Devon Achane should be really, really good, and he has shown that he can catch out of the backfield and he can run. And Miami is going to score no matter what if they have Tua or whoever else is back there. And so I love Devon Achane being the number 2 guy this year, and he can honestly be a keeper if you really want to be.
Who's their backup? And not running back wise, but who's the backup quarterback? Because I have
no idea.
I don't either. I'm just so worried about Tyreek. I'm worried about H. I'm just worried about if Tua's not playing. Okay. I know that Tyreek Hill's numbers are more directly correlated with Tua, obviously, and I agree with you.
It's Zach Wilson and Quinn Ewers.
Oh God! Oh God! Well,
Will.
yeah, they need Tua. Long story short, I like both these guys as well. You mentioned keeper leagues. I think keeper leagues are like really, really, really. I love that's what I play in. I play in a keeper league, and the person that has Bijan has just been killing us. It's been really frustrating. I do see in the comments. Is his groin injury? Did Achan? It's still lingering? I mean, I don't know if there's been any movement on that as of today.
It is, and that's why a lot of people are going after a guy like Ollie Gordon, who has the backup. So, in my opinion, if you go get A-Chain as a number like your number one pick, whatever spot you pick him in, if you go in the first round and get A-Chain, and I assume that most people that draft him are, just go and get Ollie Gordon in like the 9th, 10th round. It does, it gives you a number one running back in a system that likes running backs. And so that's the only thing. I get the groin injury, but what happens there is you give yourself a number one no matter what, as long as both of them doesn't get hurt. But you obviously, if for some reason A-Chain goes out midweek, 5, 6, whatever, you get Ollie Gordon already there. Well, guess what? He comes back in like week 14, right for the playoffs, and you're like about to skyrocket with a fresh A-Chain. So I don't worry about that as long as they have a decent backup that is going to be available in late rounds. So I'm okay there.
It's a good point. This team is a prime example of drafting A-Chain high, and then you can still get the backup really late. It's a great example of that. You've got McCaffrey listed next, which is McCaffrey the biggest, in a vacuum, if this dude was healthy, is he the best fantasy player of all time or one of the best fantasy players of all time?
Yes. And you're talking about so many guys. What is it? Dawkins back in the day with the Eagles. I want to say, I'm trying to remember. You also had Tomlinson,
LT,
way back in the day and playing fantasy. Like those are guys. He is very much that guy.
Yep.
But he's also very injury prone. The line for San Francisco should be much better, and don't ever not look at the offensive line and the health of it. And so I always look at that mainly, but we should have a healthy offensive line in San Francisco. They should be a much better team for sure. But McCaffrey, you have to look at him as, if he is healthy, he's going to be a top 3, and he honestly might be the best back in the entire league if he's healthy. So that's the upside. The downside is going to be the health, whether or not. And so he's obviously polarizing because he can get hurt at any moment, but that's here. But let me run through these next two. Is Saquon Barkley, best back in the league last year. Does that hurt him? And that's what you have to look at, is there's a lot of miles on those legs last year.
Yes.
Because they won the Super Bowl, is he as invested in really being the best back in the league this year? Or do they take a step back and say, hey, that was great last year, let's kind of put a pitch count on you? And so maybe those games they pick apart and say, we're still going to be good enough to go to the Super Bowl if we can keep a healthy Barkley, because Jalen Hurts needs everything he can because he's not that good of a quarterback. So,
there we go. I like that.
And the last guy, Jahmyr Gibbs, dude is amazing, and he's going to be amazing. The only reason I have him at 5 and not higher is because they have a new OC. What do you do there? I don't know if they're going to continue to be the same type of offense that features Gibbs, or is he going to be featured more? We don't know. And so because of that, the Thunder and the Lightning there in Detroit could be interesting.
Yeah, for me, I love the question marks around Detroit's offense because we just don't know I don't know what to expect with Ben Johnson gone. It could be, there's just a lot going on here. We're going to, I love this list. I really, and honestly, if I can get one of these guys, if I'm not drafting in the first half, if one of these guys could fall to me in picks, I don't know, 6 through 12, I'd be a happy guy, happy man.
Yeah, I think you will. Other than Bijan and maybe Barkley, I think you have potential for all these guys to be 6 through 10.
Yep, I like it. We're going to play and fade some guys too, because you gave me these guys as well, and I love this because. So this is your running back 1. You're who are we going to be playing or fading here? You want to play Chase Brown, which I like. I think, wasn't he the best running back in football the back half of the season last year?
Yes.
And it's insane.
And that's why you have to put him on this list.
Yeah.
But Chase Brown, he's shown that he could run. That was the questions, right? But let's just give you a little scenario of, let's say the Cincinnati Bengals suck on defense again. Okay. They're amazing on offense. I get they have Chase. I get they have Higgins. They have a lot of pieces, but they still have to have a run game. They're still going to throw to their back out of the backfield. He also has big game potential where he has big plays where he could just blow up at any moment. I think his floor is higher than it has been in years past.
Yeah. Because
of that last half of the season being the focal back. I love Chase Brown. You can usually get him in the second round. Sometimes he might fall to the third because people don't believe in him. But I love Chase Brown as being a high floor guy and a huge high ceiling guy.
Yeah, and I think a lot of people hear his name and they're like, I'm not drafting that guy.
Right.
But it's like the dude's good. The dude is really good. You're fading Kamara. Are you fading the entire Saints offense?
Yes. Have you seen Kellen Moore was with the Cowboys, and he's the most overrated dude, OC head coach there is. The dude is not good. He looks like he's still 14.
Yeah, he does.
And that's why we're not going back to 2014 and playing with Alvin Kamara here. But Alvin Kamara is awesome. He is a guy who will be really good. But do you ever just think sometimes, and I see people talking about work in the chat, you ever sometimes just think, you know what, I can kind of phone it in and still be okay here. Yeah. I'm not going to get fired. I'm not going to get hurt. Everything's going to be okay. I'll go home and life will still be good. I'll still be making my millions. That's Alvin Kamara this year. I think there will be business decisions made because of that. Fantasy wise, I'm definitely fading.
I love it. It's, I'm with you. I'm fading. The Saints team might be the worst team in the league, man. They're going to be bad. I'm glad to hear you. You're so familiar with Kellen Moore. You get it. It's good to hear you. It's not good, but it's nice to hear you talk about it. The RB2s. I'm interested in this because everybody and their mother seems to be on Travion Henderson. You think it's real? You're buying the hype here?
Travion is very, very good. He is going to be, the only issue with that is now he's juiced up so much that I wouldn't say he's undraftable at where he's going, because he's going like 7th round, if not like higher, because people know that name now. He's like that blinking red light at like Kmart, the Kmart special that everybody runs up to. Yeah. And you're just like, what is going on here? I don't need your pillows today. I don't care if they're on sale and there's a blinking red light. But I like Travion Henderson. In a vacuum himself, he is a really good rookie. He's going to be good. Ramondre Stevenson had fumble issues last year, but he just signed a contract. Like last year was the first year of his 4-year, I think it was $36 million extension that he received. They're still going to go to Stevenson. So I don't want people to like look at this and go, oh my God, this guy can start for me week 1. Maybe he might not get any touches. He might get 5 touches. And so we don't know. There's so much unknown about him. So I would just say be careful. 7th round is fine. Anytime after the 7th round, I'm okay with. But he's not going to be a day 1 starter for you. He could, and I could be completely wrong. I think in week like 10, 11, I think he is the number 1 starter. And that's really what you need going into the fantasy playoffs.
Yeah, you're absolutely right. It's kind of he might earn that job, and then it's going to look great if you draft him after round 7. James Cook is on here too, and I think I had James Cook on my fantasy team last year, and the dude was just a touchdown eating machine. That's not good. I mean, I just don't see that happening again. As someone who had him on his team, I'm just like, I'm not buying that. There's no way. I don't. I mean, he had 16 touchdowns, or that's probably more. He had a lot.
Yeah, I thought it was. I thought it was Josh Allen 16, him 12. It could be reversed. One of them had 16, one of them 12, I believe. But either way, he is dependent on the touchdown, as you talked about. And because of that worries me as being so touchdown dependent. What happens if for some reason he's struggling in the red zone in the 5 and they send in Ray Davis because they feel more confident within the 2 or the 3, but they also have Josh Allen that can vulture touchdowns like crazy. I think he's going to be games where he'll have 2 touchdowns and 100 yards. There'll be games where he has 30 yards and a touchdown. You're still going to get your 10 points, but you're not going to have the big 15 to 20 points that you really want. 3rd round is okay. That's where he's going for. Anything after the 3rd round, if you're late in the 3rd, and you grab him, or the 4th on, I'm okay there. I really like this Buffalo team. I think they're going to score a lot. They have good pieces on the wide receivers this year. So that's what worries me is you have Keon Coleman, who's back, who's a better He's out of his rookie year. He should be better and more familiar with Josh Allen. Khalil Shakir is a guy who didn't catch a lot of touchdowns, but he should because he's the possession receiver. So maybe they throw it more and keep Josh off of the ground because they're a better team all around. They still have Josh Palmer that can go and be a red zone threat. There's a lot of pieces there in Buffalo. That's the only reason. James Cook does not catch passes in the backfield. That's the issue. That's why he's lower for me because he's not a guy that's going to help you in PPR.
Which that's the thing. Like there's other guys, and I like what you said. Drafting him third round or after. There's dudes in the second round, running backs that will help you immensely more in PPR leagues as opposed to him. And just let him fall. You can get him. As someone who had him last year, there were days where I was like, I don't feel good about this. I just really don't. Yeah, dude, I'm loving this. I can't wait. It's so close to fantasy football season. It's awesome. We're gonna take a really quick
before you take the break. I want just so we can end on fantasy. Like there are new leagues. I don't know if people are aware, but they're coming out there. But there's two things I want to kind of I guess incentivize, but not, maybe push people to doing because they're a lot of fun. There's a new league called the Guillotine League.
Oh yeah,
have you heard of it?
Yes,
okay.
Yes.
So it's like a 14-team league. And honestly, it's everybody against everybody. You draft your teams, and the team that has the lowest score that week is out, right?
Awesome.
So they're done playing. And so if you wanted to have, your friends and say, hey, everybody loves to draft. There are no trades, obviously the waiver wire is still the waiver wire, but it's a lot of fun because in the end of the day, when one team gets kicked out and your season could be done after week 1. So this isn't a league you have for everything, but it's a league that I would say that you should be in at least one just to have some fun, to see how you're good at, and it's all about the drafting, in all honesty. Everybody claims they're great at. The second thing is, how everybody does the leagues where the survivor leagues where you pick your teams very much like the guillotine. You pick your team and you got to keep picking that team to win or another team. So once you use a team, they're out.
Use it.
Same thing that's happening right now with different leagues and different ways that you can play touchdowns. So you have each week, it's a survivor league of touchdowns. So you're picking a player that scores a touchdown. If they score a touchdown that week, they're out of your pool. You can't use them again. If they don't score, you're out anyways, right? So the next week you're using another player to score a touchdown. And so it's a lot of fun. I would say, get into it and try to see if you can pick a touchdown winner. And there's a lot of leagues that are free that will pay out just for promo ideas. So those are fun ways. If you don't like the full fantasy leagues, you can play survivor type stuff that might be kind of keep you invested each week.
Man, that touchdown survivor league sounds great because I would get creative and be like, Taysom Hill. And just be like, no, Luke,
please.
No, don't do that. Dude, that sounds awesome. I might have to get in on that. I don't need any more leagues. I'm in 3. God, I don't know. You're making my gears turn. We're going to take a quick break. And when we get back, I might have joined a guillotine league. We'll see. We will be right back after this break.
Looking for an alternative to alcohol or conventional medicine? Check out Ounce of Hope, a Memphis-based dispensary with 2 local stores in the Sanderland Center and on South Cooper Street. You can get all the products you need in a location convenient to you. Each store offers an intentional shopping experience with dedicated bud tenders to answer all of your questions, from product selection and mushroom blends to our personal favorite, the Delta 9 seltzers. You gotta try the Peach Buzz. Try Ounce of Hope at either one of their 2 Memphis stores or at www.ounceofhope.com for convenient products shipped right to your door. Use the promo code BluffCity for 15% off any order, excluding sale items. Cannot be used in conjunction with other promotions or discounts. One use per customer.
What does a big-time season look like for Tiger football on and off the field?
An American Conference championship and a berth in the college football playoffs. That's what it looks like to me.
Do you think that's realistic? I think it is.
Absolutely.
I think if I've made all my jokes told about the quarterback situation, they're doing all this and still going to lose to UTSA. Don't get it twisted. I am pulling for Tiger football to be as good as possible this year. And I think they have the capability to do it. They should, the conference that they're in. Where is the line between good and bad, though?
If they don't make the college football playoffs, but they win the American Athletic Conference or the American Conference Championship, it's a great season. I would hope that they'd make it to the college football playoffs. That would be a big-time season if they make it there.
Yeah.
A bad season would be, I think the Tigers are going to have a really good record. a really good record.
Yeah.
But there's a few games, the last 3 or 4 games of the year are where the rubber meets the road for the Tigers, in conference. They've got to win all 4 of those. And if they don't, it's not a good season, man. They have to.
Check out the Anthony Sane Show Monday through Friday at 1 p.m. only on the Bluff City Media YouTube channel.
In the heart of the Highland Strip for 27 years, Trilogy Tattoo has helped tell stories for Memphians for generations. Located at 530 South Highland, Richie and his team are waiting to help you tell yours.
From tattoos to piercings, your body art should be as unique as you are. Voted a Memphis Flyer top 3 tattoo shop in the city of Memphis since day one. Your story will be safe here at Trilogy Tattoo.
Open 7 days a week, Monday through Saturday, 11 to 11, and 3 to 11 on Sundays. They have convenient times waiting on you. Let Trilogy Tattoo help you tell your story.
No, I'm not muted. Heck yeah, I know what I'm doing. Welcome back to the show. Check out this promo code, y'all. We'll take you to ounceofhope.com. You might need an ounce of hope to win your fantasy football league. I don't know. This promo code will get you 15% off anything you need. Also, go to Trilogy Tattoo and get a tattoo for your punishment. That might be fun. I'm trying to make my guys take the SAT if they lose. I hope.
God.
Yeah, right. It sounds awful. Like you got to go and you got to sit all day and just take it. Sounds awful. Would you not do that?
I've obviously done it in life, and I would do it now. But I actually fell asleep during my SAT when I did it for the first time because I was reading, and it was like 9 a.m. on a Saturday.
And warm.
And I was reading it, and I was just like, my head hit the desk, and like the person woke me up like, "Hey, I think y'all are done." I'm like, well, didn't pass that one.
They might be done. I am not done.
Right?
Oh God. Now I'm scared to take that. Anyway, back to the show, y'all. We just got done talking about rushing and football. So we are going to see if any of this is actually going to translate into, actual. We talked last year about actual on-field production, on-court production. Do you think any of these guys are going to rush for over 1,000 yards? I went over to FanDuel, and if you want to go over to FanDuel and look at this, they've got odds for 1,000 plus regular season rushing yards. We mentioned yesterday the amount of guys. There's a ton of dudes receiving wise who have odds to get over 1,000 yards. That number shrinks drastically once you get to rushers for obvious reasons. It's like it's not a rushing league anymore. But you got guys like Christian McCaffrey doesn't even have negative odds to get 1,000 rushing yards in a season.
Wow.
You've got guys like Jonathan Taylor. Is it Bajan? I want to make sure I'm saying it right.
Bajan,
Jahmyr Gibbs, Achane, Ashton Genty, Josh Jacobs, Bucky Irving, Kyron Williams. There's guys on this list, but you guys that we just talked about, like James Cook, Tony Pollard, Christian McCaffrey, they all have positive odds. Who do you think is going to lead the league in rushing? I guess would be a better question. Like who do you think? Is it any of these guys we mentioned in our fantasy conversation earlier? Is it any of these guys with negative odds, do you think?
That's the tough part is I think you have to look at these guys in fantasy as being more of they can also catch the ball. And that's what, you have, Bajan can do both. And that's why you look at Jahmyr Gibbs. They can do both. CMC is still going to do that, but he should not be the guy who's the bell cow on the ground. Because of that, I think a sneaky guy that you could see that leads the league in, rushing could be Ashton Genty, which would probably shock a lot of people because he is a rookie, but he's got the legs. He's in Pete Carroll offense, right? That even with Geno Smith, who likes to throw, you still have a big handoff potential there. And so maybe a guy like Ashton Genty can eat enough yards up on the ground to really survive.
Are you all in on Ashton Genty? You think he's...
I think he's good. I think he's really good. And I think he's worth the first round, if you have to go up that high to go get him, but he's not going to be the huge pass catcher in the backfield that everybody wants him to be. In college, he at Boise State, which Boise State tonight, that's actually one of my plays. I'll give it away now, -5.5 against South Florida. But I think that Ashton Genty can be a guy who catches a screen pass more than he's going to be a guy who gives you a little bit of a slant from the backfield. And so that's the only reason. I think he's more rushing than receiving.
Yeah, man, I love it. Which also shout out Nick in the comments, man. He's got a Josh Allen Bijan combo. I
love it.
That's really good. I'm all for that. Trying to think any of these names that I think it was Edward mentioned. What are your thoughts on Josh Jacobs? I saw him mentioned in our comments earlier. Are you big on, he's included in a lot of these, like what are his odds to get over 1,000 yards are -160.
Yep.
I mean,
well, you got to think that he played well last year, and he's not having to catch the ball in the backfield as much. He still catch a dump down, or a safety valve, but he's not running routes. He's not doing all that stuff like that. So a lot of that, they're using him for actually rushing, which is great. The issue with that is like, can he be the guy who gets the ball in the end zone? Like, he's had issues with that.
Yeah.
That's why he's not a first round pick. And honestly, a lot of people might go with him in the second round. And I think that's really where he's been taken. But if you can get him late in a second, I think that's great. I think anytime after that, you're getting a guy who you can trust. And anytime you can get a guy that you can trust, that's where you want to go for. And so, I like him a lot.
I mean, there's two guys that are like available late second round that I really like. I like Josh Jacobs and I like Jonathan Taylor. In terms of guys that can actually rush.
Right.
I'm just, and I don't know. I like, you can get them. They're all ranked there in like, I don't know, like pick 19 and 20 in the second round. And I really like them there. If they could slip to the round, even better. Sick.
Perfect.
Be awesome. Before we get out of here, it is time for our daily dose of It's a Trap by FanDuel Sportsbook. You're going to do better today than you did yesterday.
I hope so.
I have a feeling.
I think I was right yesterday. I think the books are wrong.
That's what it was. You're right. Today, in keeping with the spirit of things, well, I guess name of the game is It's a Trap, and named in honor of Admiral Akbar of Star Wars Rebel Alliance. I will give our guest, co-host, whatever, a series of 3 wagers. He doesn't have to. You just got to tell me which one's a trap bet. It's easy peasy. Today, in keeping in the spirit of things, we are going to do 12 plus regular season rushing touchdowns. 12 plus.
It's a lot.
It is a lot. It's a lot. So, is it, I guess you get my notes up before I just start making crap up. Is it A, Derrick Henry, -175, Kyron Williams, +105, or James Cook, +135?
It's got to be Kyron Williams. That's the trap. That doesn't make sense.
I agree with you, but that's not right. The trap. So Derrick Henry is far and above the favorite. Makes sense. Kyron Williams and these were going up last night. Like this, I don't know what is happening in with the Rams, but these odds, as I was looking at them yesterday, they were like going up. I don't know what's happening. The trap, Jahmyr Gibbs has the +135 odds. James Cooks are +150. So they're a little bit, they've got Cook. Josh Allen has higher,
right?
He's got higher odds to get 12 touchdowns than James Cook. So it's like we said last year, Vegas thinks one of these dudes is going to get 12. They're just trying to figure out who.
Probably both of them, honestly.
Yeah, right.
Like these numbers are way too low to be.
I agree.
In my opinion, like that just doesn't make sense. Like why are we doing these low of numbers for 12 touchdowns? It's better just to bet these all individually for whatever stupid number they might be. Than just 12 touchdowns on a season.
I agree, but it's a game, sir. I gotta, otherwise you would win. You're the best at this stuff. I gotta make it hard for you. Come on now.
So he did have the 16 rushing touchdowns. It was James Cook. He had 16 last year. Josh Allen had the 12 receiving. Looking through here, James Cook had 2 receiving touchdowns, and Josh Allen actually had 1. So if you want to care about that at all.
God, man, Buffalo's wild. That's going to do it for our show today, y'all. Thank you guys for hanging out. Thank you guys for talking fantasy football, Daniel. Thank you as always.
Yeah, man.
What do you got going on today? You got your show at 8:30 or 9?
Yeah, same thing. We're still on Coaching Company at 9
Amazon
a.m.
Prime.
today Central, and then for weekday wagers, which is a little afternoon show at 1 p.m. Central. We do a lot of the looking ahead at football, but also discussing the games that are happening that night. And so we'll be talking some Boise State, little South Florida today for sure.
Yes, love it, man. College football's here, brother.
Yes.
Can't wait. We will be back tomorrow. I know the 2 Buck Sports shows today at 11. I don't know what I'm doing. 11. You know.
Yep.
Saints at 2. Just tune into everything, y'all. Jess Benson's happening right now. Go hang out over there. I'll be back tomorrow. I'm going to keep this fantasy conversation talking. I don't know who's going to be with me. Might be Daniel, might be Rusty. We'll see. I don't know yet. We'll play that by ear. If I can leave you with anything today, remember, like I always tell you, remember these 2 things. Remember, 1, just be a little bit weird today. And 2, remember to smile real big. See you guys. Have a great day and stay safe.
Thank you for listening to The Daily Grind. If you enjoyed this episode, leave a rating and a review wherever you download your podcasts. Also, like and subscribe to Bluff City Media's YouTube page. We'll see you back here next time.